بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Mawlana Izaz Ali, rahimahullah. He is one of the Asatiza from Deoband. He's written the Hashia on Nurul Ida. So Nurul Ida is a book. We have Quduri Nurul Ida, two of the primary books that we study in Darul Ulooms and many places to study this book. He's got Hashia on this. Similarly, one of his books is studied as a standard book on literature, which is Nahwatul Arab. So he compiled different texts, and this is used as a standard book in all madrasas. Now, regarding him, he is mentioned. Qais Risa rahmatullah alayhi says one of his classmates used to say regarding him that, again, you shouldn't say bad things about somebody, but if that's a means of fa'idah, then you can mention it. So he was saying in Urdu, Nihayat Gabi kun zahin the. He says he was not very clever. Who's this? Mawlana Izaz Ali, rahimahullah. He was saying that he wasn't very clever. Kun zahin meaning he was like a bit dull, not sharp. He wasn't the sharpest. But how did he get this? Like, now he's mentioned it so you can understand when he started writing. He writes a Hasha Nul Ida. You can read his Hasha. Some of our clever students can read his Hasha. His Nafs al-Arab that he's written. The Hasha is his Hasha as well. Nafs al-Arab. He's written Nafs al-Arab, he's written the Hasha Nafs al-Arab as well. So he's done this. How did he get to this? He wasn't very clever. But this is what? That he used to work very hard. He says, Lekin unhone mehnat ki aur lage rahe. He put a lot of effort and he continued and pursued in his effort. And the result of this, he became what he became. And he mentioned a story here. He says here that his teacher was Mawlana Anwar Shah Kashmir rahmatullah alayhi. So Allama Kashmir rahmatullah alayhi, he was a genius. He was very, very clever. He was a great muhaddith. He was a master of many funun. He was, unmatchable, and he's a Faridu Dahrihi, a unique person of his time. So he goes up. He's not Shah Sahab, Shah Kashmir rahmatullah alayhi. So he used to walk from home to the masjid. So his student was Mawlana Izaz Ali rahmatullah alayhi. So along with studying in class, he used to wait outside of the door. When the teacher would come out to walk from the masjid, walk from home to masjid, and home to masjid to home, and home to masjid, what would he do? He would tag along. And on the way, he would ask him questions. Do you understand? And on the way, he would ask him questions. And he would learn so many things from him. So this is an encouragement to people who may not be naturally very, very bright. Allah's given everybody different levels of intellect. And this is like different levels of physical strength, different levels of beauty, different levels of intellect. Allah's given everybody different so that everybody can function in society differently. But you shouldn't lose hope that, I find things a bit difficult, it's a bit hard, it takes me longer to memorize, it's a bit more difficult for me to understand. We shouldn't lose hope. Rather, we should pursue it, we should continue to pursue. And I am sure that he has outdone many of the people in his class who are much more intelligent. When you have exams coming up or you have class, you find that it's difficult, keep working. The more you put in effort, the more Allah will open up ways for you. Man jahada fina lanahdiyannahum subulana. Everybody who's become great scholars or who done the khidmah of deen and who's become from the ulama, they're all clever people. That would be unfair that only people who are clever, Allah has created them, they can do good stuff. Sometimes people are very, very clever, they don't even understand it, they don't even become Muslim. And there's some very basic fallacies they become culpable to. And some people, there's one person, somebody asked a very old lady, what is the dalil that Allah exists? One very old lady in the village, she was probably stitching cloth on a mighzal. You have those weaving things like a sewing machine. Not an electric one, but you have to use a feet and pedal and all that. So because this is the dalil that Allah exists. The machine that she was using, the mighzal, the thing to weave. So how? He said, who makes the mighzal? Does the mighzal go by itself? Does it go around in circles by itself? So if this machine can't work by itself, how can the whole work by itself? So no GCSEs, no A-levels, no degree, but she can forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists. And have people who are degrees in philosophy and all this kind of stuff, and all types of education, they still can't forget these fundamentals of life. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests everybody differently. So even if you find things difficult, or the onset, your intellect's not that high, your IQ level is not that high, you continue working, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you success. And then he says here, Asal cheez to khud ki talab hai. The main thing is that you yourself put in the effort. If you do not put in the effort, you're not going to get anything. Then many people are clever, don't put in effort, you go down the drain. You following? So if you put in your own effort, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open up ways for you. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to act upon this. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.